Welcome back, folks. It is still Wednesday. I have survived my dad's visit with flying colors. It was a great visit. Had a good time. It was very chill. We did not go out to eat because he said that my uncle had fed him a very lush breakfast and he didn't feel like eating and he wanted more time to just talk, which fine. But I didn't know why it was exclusive to eating. But so yeah, I'm gonna cook a lot tonight because I have all these veggies in my fridge that are mostly clean and ready to go, and I need to cook them soon or else they will rot, and I don't want that to happen. But you remember the cake batter that I was in the middle of preparing when my dad came on? Well, we're gonna bake it. So I'm going to turn the oven on and we're gonna bake the cake and we're gonna prep some cauliflower. I'm going to lightly oil it and just throw it in, and then we'll whip up a yogurt dressing to kind of dip it in. I'm gonna keep everything fairly simple because simple is best. But yeah, welcome again. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna give this oven a quick wipe because I feel like there are things that are smoking in there. Hi Midnight. Come for as long as you want. Leave whenever you'd like. Ooh, that's a crusty bit. That's probably smoking up my oven a lot. Yeah, you should cook that huge head of cauliflower on its last legs. Don't make me come yell at you. You know, one day, I still hope to do like a traveling vlog where I visit some of you and just set up camp in your kitchen and cook with your shit. So, get ready for that day. I'm gonna keep dreaming it. Maybe it'll come. Maybe that day will come for us. Okay, great. Don't have to be perfect. Just do a little bit of maintenance. Berlin! Copenhagen! Let's go. As usual, I was not a good Chinese daughter, but my dad was a good Chinese dad, and he brought me food gifts. So now I have a lot of Russell Stover and Ferrero Rocher chocolates, as well as Planters mixed nuts. And I'm thinking that I can retoast some of those mixed nuts and make like a little dukkha, so that we could eat it with our veggies with that yogurt dip. That sounds pretty tasty to me. So we might as well use it. Defaulting to my original, method of, no, Dad, I don't want it. Please take it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just keep it. It ain't worth the trouble after a few dead moms. Damn. This sticker is not peeling clean. Very disappointing. You know what this means. It means I'm sad. That's all it means. So what exactly is Yorkshire pudding? I don't actually know what goes into that, Graham. This batter has sat in the container so long it's congealed. Do you see it peeling away from the sides? Yeah. Okay, the first thing, I wrote myself a little to-do list. We're gonna bake the cake, then we're gonna roast the cauliflower, and then we're gonna cook our scallions in a pot, and maybe cook our kale and black-eyed peas, maybe wash some broccoli and prep that, and then maybe make our yogurt dip. It's a very ambitious to-do list, but I think we can do it. We'll see how far I go. We'll see how far we'll all make it. Or not. Bye, Beck. Good luck with whatever you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Oven is on. We're gonna slide our cake in and Dad and I talked about a lot of things. I'm gonna have to process it for a little bit. actually know if I want to oil these cauliflowers. Maybe I'll just roast them. IDK, I'm feeling very lazy, and I hate cleaning oily sheet trays. It's like the worst for me. So if you guys have any recommendations on how to not oil up your sheet tray. What if I just steamed it basically in the oven? Is that disgusting? Sounds pretty disgusting to me. Ram, I think I still have your Dawn that you left here when I first moved in. I don't think I've touched that at all. If you want it back, you should take it the next time you're over. This is the laziest shit ever, just cutting it on the cutting board. Wow, what is happening to me? I'm not sure. Actually, I am sure. I'm just burnt out, man. I'm tired and I'm burnt out. Not lazy if it works. You know what? This is Mom's shitty knife. The one that I can bend with my hand. So it's already been dead. It was born dead, basically. Destined to a life of abuse and mediocrity. Oh my god. Okay, good. We did it. If you're gonna steam it, you might as well crowd it. Maybe this is just like a par cook cauliflower. IDK, we'll see. Yes, at least I am eating veg. I'm proud of myself. This week, I was sick of being sick, and I said, you gotta mom yourself a little harder, June. So I am. Regarding oil, let's do a little bit, but too lazy to do a lot. Okay. And then some salt, some pepper, and we're going in. Let's do 25 minutes. I don't know how long that cake's been in there, but a while. Next, we're gonna cook our scallions. This will definitely require some oil. Low. I'm just procrastinating on getting a cat. I don't know, guys. I'm going through a very non-committal phase in my life. I can't even commit to social hangouts anymore. I don't know what's causing it, really. I haven't paused to think about it, but I am feeling very, uncertain about my abilities recently. Could just be depression, honestly. Very much. Yeah, these are all the scallions I got for $2, and we're gonna cook them in oil, and we're gonna freeze them. Grandma seems to like the scallion oil donuts. Yeah, I got 5 bunches for $2. Again, I can do budget eats. It is still within my means to do it. I just don't have the motivation to anymore. I actually haven't tasted the pear soup at all yet. Whoops. But we can heat it up and drink some in this live. I think the last live was a little rushed due to my father visiting. It was a great time with my dad. The best I could have hoped for, I think. So I'm very thankful for how it turned out. Yeah, I agree. I think it might be just depression. But I also feel like the catch-22 is if I get a cat, maybe I get less depressed, you know? But currently I just can't seem to bring myself to want a cat. Yet. It's not that I don't want a cat, it's just that I don't want a cat yet. Budget Eats is the way I live. I think that's why that show came pretty naturally. It was already something that I basically did. I just amped up the creativity a lot more. As you can see, I'm not pulling out all the stops, spending 4 hours making taco shells out of bean paste, but the ethos of Budget Eats is very much just how I live. Yeah, cat sitting for people. Sure. But am I traveling to them, or are they coming and dropping off their cat to me? Yes, I have been thinking about fostering as well. I'm on a mailing list for fosters. I just haven't bit the bullet yet. Grandma's imagining conversations right in front of my eyes now. That's the grandma update. No. currently just making a huge batch of scallion, like, oil, I guess. Just stir frying the scallions in a lot of oil and a little bit of spice. Hoping to use it in grandma snacks. It's almost like scallion confit, but not low heat. And of course I could use it too. I actually really like sauteing stuff like onions, garlic in big batches and just keeping a container of it so that when I make dinner, I don't have to start from scratch every time I want onion and garlic to caramelize and turn golden. I can just use that batch. I don't like meal prepping, but I like ingredient prepping or condiment prepping, if that makes sense. What up, Seattle? Well, my house will smell like scallions. I don't know if that's good, but I think I'm gonna need a little more oil in here soon. So that's a lot of scallions. I myself did not anticipate having this many scallions to work with. Serves my greed right. Can't resist a good price, you know? Oh, so meal prep is so boring. You end up prepping like 4 to 5 servings of the same meal. And then do you even want to eat it? IDK. Was never my thing. This knife sucks, Mom. Thank you for leaving it for me. And thank you for cooking with it for so many years for me. God, it's hurting my hand. Okay, I'm gonna leave a few scallions. I don't know why, but I will. Maybe we should use it right away in my kale and black eyed peas. Put a little more oil in here. How do I best store pickled beets for salads? You store it in the juice that it's pickled in. I'm gonna cook this down until all the scallions are translucent, until all the moisture is cooked off, until they look kind of mashy and creamy, and then pull it off. In the meantime, this is our sabo kale. Do I have a Palestine video? Which one is the Palestine video? Lol. Whoops. At this point, they're kind of all just free Palestine videos now. my gosh, I cannot believe you would dump the pickle beet juice down the drain. It's such a pretty color. Oh, yeah. By the way, I just want to correct the record on that NYPD Grand Central video. I only started recording that video because my friend Dan, who is the one getting a little confrontational with the cops, told us to start recording because he wanted evidence in case he got booked of what exactly went down. But we walked into Grand Central after a whole day of protesting, wanting to go home. We had our flags rolled up and rubber banded. And immediately as we went in, maybe just like 20 feet in, not even, cops started approaching us. And one says, "You can't go in here with that." And we're just like, why? And at first they were just like, you know, stopping us. At which point Dan was like, "Start recording." You can see that their reasoning for stopping us from going into the station changes, right? They say towards the end of it that it's because of the pole and it's a safety hazard. And apparently in Metro North Station, where Grand Central Station is serving, there is such a rule as no poles, but that's not the first reason they gave us. The first reason they gave us is you can't bring that in here because you can't protest in the stations. But we weren't gonna, we were just going home. And that's when that video started, basically. Metro North and MTA share Grand Central Terminal as entry points into those respective transportation systems. We're gonna heat up this pear juice. Maybe add a little water in it since I cooked it down so much. Yeah, they certainly did prod us. I did cut my hair last night, yes. It was impromptu. I was sitting in front of the computer learning about attachment theory, and then I was like, you know what? My hair feels dry, damaged, long, and heavy. I think it was me projecting the need to let go of emotional baggage, and instead of sitting with the videos that I was probably reaching my limit for that day, I've been watching them for like 3 to 4 hours every day. My brain was just like, you can continue listening, but why don't you also go cut your hair? So, it's not very even, but I think for a DIY haircut, it's not bad, right? Wow. That's a look. Fantastic. It is great to know your rights. Again, it comes back to being educated about all that you can do and all that they can't do. Because if we're going to play by the law, we need to know the law. Sometimes they won't play by the law, but our first line of defense is knowing the law. And I was very lucky to be there with friends who have been in the resistance game for a while and in the organizing game for a while, so that, you know, it was a great learning experience for me to witness how you can interact with the POPO. And of course, as always, after getting actual hair cutting scissors, I always manage to cut up my hand while cutting my hair. But good thing is I don't bleed as much as I used to. How shall we cook the kale? I can't be bothered to clean 2 pots. So I'm just gonna wait for the scallion to finish cooking, transfer it out, and then cook the kale in there. In the meantime, we can scissor the kale into smaller pieces. Oh yeah, I am not with Fred and Aaron anymore, guys. If you have not gotten that update yet, you must have been missing for over a year, my friend. I'm just gonna grab a bundle and scissor it. Would it be easier chopping this on a cutting board? Absolutely. Have you guys noticed how much projection Israeli propaganda is doing? I just got a comment that I immediately deleted and muted the user who posted it today on my last live that was on yesterday. And it was just like, nobody forget that Hamas never accepted a ceasefire and kept raping women. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that Hamas was the one asking for a ceasefire and Israel was the one who did not accept it. So, you know. How hot is it in Australia these days? I think this whole like aggression and genocide on Palestine has made me have to completely change the way I've been running the comments, because there's just been so much bad faith fake news in the comments. Before, I took a very solid stance on people voicing whatever they wanted to voice and we could disagree, but I think when it comes to Israeli propaganda, like that shit is so insidious and it's so mainstream and accepted now in the US because the Israeli lobby has so much of a stronghold on every aspect of our media and government that I just can't even be bothered. It's a straight delete for me now. So I feel like I'm one of those Facebook like censor people who are just watching beheading videos and deleting them, because some of the comments that come through are just really fucking gross. Have I touched on BDS? Yeah. If anyone wants to boycott, divest, and sanction, you know, you can just Google BDS. And maybe put Palestine or Israel in there, and it'll take you to the page where it lists all the brands, all the big brands that you can boycott and divest from. You know, I think on the consumer level, yeah, we can make a change if it's big enough. But also, you know, it helps for general awareness, but it also helps for policy. And currently, like, even shit like my alma mater, even Swarthmore College, a very liberal-leaning school, still continues to purchase Sabra hummus and HP computers and printers and technology, and those are both brands that BDS movement is calling for us to not buy. So watch where your money is going. You can definitely research easily in the age of information. Generally speaking, you should be boycotting literally everything, because if you go on my Instagram stories today, there's this conception that our tax money is going to fund the war, which yes, but also no. Like, the war is going to get funded no matter what. Our tax money is going towards a governmental budget. The governmental budget goes towards war and defense. But the war will have been funded no matter how much tax money came through on our end towards the government. War, according to one person who wrote in, is simply a function of capitalism. It's necessary because capitalism calls on us to basically violate the earth, pillage the people who live on that piece of earth in order to extract resources, to then produce all of these things that we then are forced to buy because we're given very little choice, especially if we are lower class, lower income people who can't afford the more, ethical options. So we are then stuck in this cycle of being complicit in other people's murder, genocide, exploitation, and so forth. And so one way we can divest from capitalism as a whole in order to divest from war, which is an extension of capitalism, is to stop buying shit, stop buying into the culture of consumption. It's not easy, but it's also not hard if we can be open to changing our lifestyles. And I feel like for a lot of people that I've been talking to, they're just not willing to change their lifestyle. They know that it's wrong to be in the system and that depresses them, but they get paralyzed because they're just like, well, what can I do? And I'm like, yeah, you can't do shit if you're not going to change the way that you live. But if you're not willing to change the way that you live, then yeah, you're going to be fucking depressed if you keep reading up about this and trying all these other methods that actually aren't changing anything systemically. And I'm not saying all of us have to know exactly what to do to fix this in our lifetime. I'm just saying that we also have to be cognizant of the fact that everything is a trade. This smells really good. So you have to be willing to trade one thing for another. Oh, that's a good bake. Yes, I wish I had syrup to brush this with. Damn, I wish I had not diluted that pear water. Fuck. That was short-sighted of me. Because if I didn't dilute the pear water, I would have syrup to brush on top. But now we have to find other syrup. Okay, well, I still have this mint syrup that worked really well in the chocolate cake. I'm not sure if it's gonna work well in the gingerbread, but we'll try it. Yeah, that's what I was saying, guys. I watered this down to drink it, so it's not a syrup anymore. It's just like water now. It's too late, guys. Just let me do my thing. It's too late. maybe it's too late. You won't know till you know, and sometimes I don't register things until I make a so-called mistake. So I have come to embrace my mistakes. This is a mint simple syrup with a lot of mint residue on the bottom. I've had it since July. This is vintage. And I will be making some sort of like a sour cream cheese icing to go on top too. Like I did the chocolate cake. Gotta turn the heat up on this. Gotta drive off more moisture. Let's go. We'll turn the oven off. Let that cauliflower just simmer in there. Oh, actually, no, we should keep baking because I need to toast these nuts. Toast these nuts. Thank you, Dad and Uncle, for giving me nuts that I absolutely did not want, but now we'll use. Also, if anybody wants a container of Russell Stover Pecan Delights, let me know. I hate this opening. You gotta pick up in Jackson Heights, Queens, girl. Yeah, well, Wool Palestine got a post taken down for having those little red triangle targets on a map of complicit organizations in Manhattan that are funded and run off of Israeli organizations. So, yeah, no. Oh, this is like the super fancy deluxe kind where there's no peanuts in it at all. Wow. I don't want to know how much this cost them. What up, Mexico? Get rid of so much shit from the fridge today. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. I was thinking about chopping it up into candy as a cake ingredient, yeah? That's possible. This scallion is missing something. Definitely some MSG. Damn, what did we put in here last time? Maybe a little bit of black pepper would be nice. If I could remember where I put it. Really losing it, guys. I'm really losing it. Here we go. Sesame oil is a great idea. If I traded food stuff with my viewers, I would have to live near them, right? Rice vinegar, you say? Interesting. Can you believe that $2 of scallions cooked down to this much? That's it. Hello, YouTubey, whoever you are. MSG helps. The best thing about using the same pot to cook after is you get all of this delicious fond to go into your next pot of flavor. Gotta clean as we go. Okay, we're gonna go in with oil, onions, more scallions. Jennifer, sounds like you've been bamboozled by some MSG propaganda. If you are allergic to glutamates, which appear also in things like seafood, Parmesan cheese, tomatoes, mushrooms, many other things that are delicious, cheese, all the cheeses, yeah, you could have headaches because you're sensitive to glutamates. MSG stands for monosodium glutamate. So chances are, if MSG makes your brain hurt, then so will all these other delicious things that I just mentioned. In which case, sucks to be you. Don't use a lot of it. Use it like you would use salt. And I find that the flavor is often a little bit better when I add it at the end of cooking, rather at the beginning. The flavor is like a little bit more pronounced and less muddy. But to each their own, experiment with it. I hope you find some joy in the novelty of MSG. It's in all the snacks that you're eating anyway. Like if you look on a bag of Doritos, MSG. MSG makes shit good, yeah. Throw that on a presidential election poster. I'm gonna turn off the oven because it's getting real hot in here. MSG up there with BDS and BLM. That's pretty funny. I laughed. Thank you. Thank you for the laughs. That pepper smells so good. What else do I want in here? I want a little smoking garlic in here. Hit me with that. And a little bit of nigella seed because apparently it's good for me. Yum. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. The pan's already running dry and oil is delicious. I mean, I think in the shower, it allows myself to have the space and time to feel depressed, like fully feel my depression. And like, it gives me time to kind of acknowledge it. But I think I'm already depressed when I'm not in the shower. I just am not in a physical state to like dwell on it as much as I can maybe afford to contemplate on it otherwise. What up, Brazil? Have you tried any Brazilian dish you really liked? You know, that is one very blind spot in my culinary exploration, Brazilian cuisine. I've only had pão de queijo that I absolutely love. Maybe a couple of other things, but you know, anything cheesy, chewy, starchy, it's definitely for me. Yeah, and lately I've been very cognizant of like the amenity and the privilege for hot showers. I definitely do feel that guilt, but again, enmeshment with the world too is something that I'm working with. One thing that I really want to use today is I have this like Better Than Bouillon beef base. It's like fully solidified now. Yikes. You failed your exams. What does that mean? Oh no, you just found me through Budget Eats? Let me tell you, girl, this is not Budget Eats. This is really depressing Eats. It's not the same thing. I still welcome you, but do not expect Budget Eats June to be here. You will be sorely disappointed. I've gotten a lot of feedback about that. But welcome! Enjoy your stay. Okay, let's give ourselves a little drink of pear liquid. Love in the Mist. That sounds beautiful. This is pear liquid with two types of sugar and a little bit of wine splashed in there. That's probably mostly cooked off by now. It's nice, calming, soothing, a little bit of cinnamon. You wish you had money to learn from your mistakes. You are learning from your mistakes. Your mistakes are the lessons. Yeah, there's wine in here. We're about to get crunk. I know. I'm not the same bitch you met, Ram. I can't tell you why, but I really want to make a small chopped salad with the remaining kale, so that's not going in. We're going to follow my desires and whims. Okay, I'm going to add a splash of this pickle juice from Pickled Onions. About a tablespoon's worth for now. See how that goes. Originally, this recipe was made with barbecue sauce. I'm recalling vaguely when I had to develop black-eyed peas for delish, but I'm not feeling the barbecue sauce, so we're just gonna kind of put in the ingredients of barbecue sauce without putting in barbecue sauce. fun doing laundry. Mmm. Yum. Very good. I want more pickle juice. Okay. Where are my black-eyed peas at? Here we go. Nice. We have enough to make a tossed salad while this is cooking away. I think the seasoning is pretty good. And I'm just gonna let it warm up. Let's see our cauliflower. Pretty. Oil was a good call. Thank you all for convincing me to oil it. It's quite delightful. Yes. Okay. I can't believe how much I'm cooking. I'm gonna regret this very soon, I think. But until then, YOLO. Some cannabis oil? I totally can, if I like the flavor, but I don't. We have a little bit of sour cream left. Let's make an icing after this. For our cake, which is cooling in the strainer. This is a new contraption, y'all. What a great cooling ventilation system if you don't have a baking sheet rack. Kale, I'm cutting kale for my chopped salad. I like itty bitty pieces in my salad. We're gonna eat it in this mixing bowl that Mom left behind. I'm going to take out the nuts. Okay, I think this is also done. I'll let it cool. Let's see what we can mix this salad up with. I'm going to use some more black-eyed peas. I'm going to use some pickled onions. I'm going to use some caramelized onions. All the things. If any of you wants to eat a trash meal, you're always welcome anytime. But y'all don't want to move because you're lazy. So your butts are firmly planted on wherever you're sitting right now, I'm sure. Last but not least, in any salad of mine, we must have mayo. Yes? Yes. 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 Now we come to seasoning. I want none of these. Let's do it simple. I'm going to use this Grillin' Out steak seasoning. It has black pepper, garlic powder, kosher salt, sweet paprika, onion powder, coriander, cumin, habanero chili flakes. It's a really nice, generic, all-purpose kind of blend. And yes, you should be massaging your kale if you want it nice and tender. I don't have the energy to do that right now. There's such a thing as reasonably priced truffle oil. Did not know. Massaging kale before washing removes bitterness. I had no idea. Guys, if you buy Kewpie mayo, there is an impersonator. It is made by Kewpie conglomerate, but you have to make sure that you're using the squeeze bottle that I'm using where it looks like it's naked. Do not buy the kind that looks like it has the label shrink wrapped to the bottle. You want the bottle to look sketchily bare. Sketchily bare. You've been warned. The other one is just not that tasty. I've tried. The other one pales in comparison to Hellmann's. I would rather eat Hellmann's than the Imposter Kewpie. So. And I'm not shitting on Hellmann's, by the way. I think Hellmann's is delicious. It's the OG mayo that I grew up with, so. Yes. So that Naked bottle comes in a plastic bag that has all the branding on it, but the bottle itself has no branding once you remove that plastic bag. You can get Kewpie in most Asian stores, in some American stores too, but you have to be careful. In the American stores, you might have the knockoff Kewpie. I'm so oh, black pepper. Black pepper. I've never had that mayo. Hellmann's texture has been a bit strange. Really? Do you do that little swishy swish with your spoon to make it smooth? Sometimes, if I'm buying the jar form, that's what I do. It's coming out like, it's a habit that came from my time at Delish in the test kitchen when we had to make the little bowls of mayo look more appetizing. We had to kind of like smooth out the mayo. My hair's a mess, sorry. With a spoon so that it didn't look gloppy. Let's fix this. I don't know if that's better. I look like a divorced, middle-aged woman getting her life together. I basically am. I have not tried the Kewpie mayo with wasabi, no. Mm-hmm. This is good. Polish mayo. Interesting. Wait, I didn't know the American version of Kewpie doesn't have MSG. That's clearly its downfall. Wow. Okay. Icing. What do we want in the sour cream icing for our cake, for our gingerbread cake that's had mint syrup all over it? Oh my gosh. Bangs was a mistake. Bangs is always a mistake. I told myself this 5 years ago that I would not have bangs again, and here I am with bangs. Racism and mayo formulas. Okay. Pickled onions and kale salads. Try it. Try it. Lemongrass icing sounds so gross, Josie. I'm very hungry. Clearly. Okay. What do we think about a chocolate mint sour cream icing? Is that so weird on gingerbread? That sounds so weird. That might be worse than lemongrass. Maple syrup is a great idea. Mm-hmm. Maple chocolate? Maple ginger. Mmm. Okay. Let's use up the sour cream and 2 of these cream cheeses. So no cocoa powder, you said. The thing about no cocoa powder is there's nothing to kind of like detract from the sweetness of the icing anymore. And I'm worried it'll make the cake too sweet. Any ideas? Lemon juice? This salad is very delicious. Candied orange peel is reaching for it, y'all. I don't have candied orange peel right now. I'm gonna take a long time. I like the chocolate ginger maple. Can't wait for round 2 dinner. But first, you guys are getting way too whack with these suggestions. Tonight is not the night. I don't have enough pear liquid inside me yet to agree to straight whiskey. Nuts is a great idea, but I would want it inside the cake, you know? Okay, we'll keep thinking. We'll keep thinking. Look at my chopstick skills with spoons. That's right, I'm using 2 spoons as tongs. I'm so proud of myself today. Maybe we make the yogurt sauce tomorrow so I don't push it. I'm losing steam. Maybe I'll just eat those nuts that I toasted, lol. But in any case, we cooked a lot of veggies. I'm proud. I unfortunately do not have coconut, but noted. Yes, my refrigerator just started working. That is indeed the noise. It's an old model. My last fridge was not this loud. This one, I have no idea how old it is, but it's not new. Dishwasher is not on. That's all that kale came to. We're also going to have to remove this sticker residue later on this live. I won't rest until I have this done. I use a combination of cooking oil and baking soda. Some people do heat treatment, some people do rubbing alcohol. There's various methods. You guys keep saying rubbing alcohol works. How do you make it work? Because I haven't been able to make it work yet. I refuse to get the Goo Gone stuff. Just absolutely refuse. hair liquid. It's for my cold. Sorry, I'm gonna have to blow my nose, BRB. How often do you wonder who's the real you? How often does that question cross your mind? Let's try a little bit of our other kale salad, which is the cooked kale and black-eyed peas. Great. Yum. What does masking your autism look like? I'm so curious. Mostly because now I'm wondering if I do it too. And I'm just so used to it that I don't know that I do it. Well, that sucks. Was hoping that would not break, but it did, and now I have broken glass everywhere. BRB? Glad this happened after my dad came. I really like that bowl too. Dang. chunk. Didn't see you there. I was looking for the lid to the Pyrex container that's holding my scallion. And now I'm remembering that it might not actually be there. Might be elsewhere. Definitely see little splinters of glass. Wompity wompity womp. Alright. Onwards, comrades. Exhausting. You guys making fun of me? Are you making light of my misery? That's great. I love it. Keep going. Proceed, my children. Cheers. Oh God, okay. All right, we're gonna make this icing. God damn it. It's gonna have ginger, and it's gonna have cocoa, and it's going to have sour cream and cream cheese, and maybe a little bit of butter and powdered sugar to set it. I'm vetoing the maple. I'm sorry. I'm just not a maple. I'm not a maple person. So 1 tablespoon of butter. Yum, delicious. Turning down the heat. We're gonna go ahead and bloom some cocoa. Three kinds of cocoa. A little bit of ginger. I'm just personally not feeling the maple. There's nothing wrong with maple. I'm just not sure if I want it, you know? That's all. Turn that heat off. Going in with our sour cream. Going with our sugar, powdered. Shirt was given to me by my friend Nez. Distribute the powdered sugar. We're gonna stream in some milk. I wanna get rid of the clumpy clumps in here. Then I'll turn the heat slightly back on. And I'm gonna taste it at this stage to see how much sour cream I want, or cream cheese. You could go with a little cream cheese. And I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit of maple. Why not? I also need to flip that cake out, actually. So we're gonna have to do that too. I should definitely be using a whisk for this. Alright, turning the heat off for now. We'll bring it back up in a sec. Sorry, I need an emergency bite of food because breaking that glass bowl is upsetting. Extremely upsetting. Mmm. Okay. I'm good. I promise. Let's taste the favorite part of the cake for me. It's this part. That's pretty good, guys. Very moist. Very spicy. Not too spicy. Not too sweet. Mmm. Oh my god. Delightful. Scallion oil, I think is great, but unfortunately looking for the lid to this thing caused a disaster. And I still don't know where the fucking lid is. I'm so angry with myself. God damn it. Ugh, okay. It's okay. We learned today the importance of self-regulation. I'm going to taste our syrup and see if it needs any more sweetness. And then I'm going to continue boiling it so that we can reach a consistency that sets. I think this is pretty great. Super low heat. We're gonna bring it up to bubble, no more than 3 minutes max, because I don't want anything to burn, especially in this pan. Very poor choice of vessel. How many tattoos do I have? One on my wrist, one on my shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. The crumb on this cake is gorgeous. I'm gonna give myself credit for a gorgeous crumb. Too bad we didn't measure anything. Let's just hope we learn somehow. I would consider getting a tattoo on top of my foot, I suppose. Yeah, the skin is super thin there. There's a lot of bones. There's a lot of blood vessels. It's gonna hurt like really bad. That's one of probably the worst places to get it if you're not ready to hurt, for sure. I was burning my palm. Was that orgasmic for you to watch? These bangs are really not working for me. Oops. No more breakages tonight, please. Delightful. I think, guys, it's really not working for me. You know what? Hold on. Shout out to Ram for gifting me this silly little thing. I believe this is better than scissors. I make myself so happy sometimes. Sour cream chocolate frosting is so underrated, guys. Look how smooth it sets. Look how smooth it sets. It's basically like pudding when you eat it warm and then you set it in the fridge and it's like ganache. So good. Don't sleep on it, and it's so easy. And you can taste it as you go and adjust the sugar and amounts. And if it ever sets too fast, you just put it back on the burner and you keep cooking it. The icing sugar helps. I was also thinking about sea salt, but because of the cream cheese addition, I don't think I want that extra saltiness. I've been infamous for over salting my shit. So I was looking up videos yesterday about face types and haircuts that complement them. And you know, I think I have quite a square face. Cheekbones, the bottom of your chin are like relatively vertical. And apparently bangs are really bad for that face shape, which I agree. I agree. She's beautiful. I love her. This is basically like a gingerbread version of my chocolate cake that I just made. Except I think this time the cake is even better. All right, a few more agenda items for me. One, I need to find the lid to that container. Two, I need to eat some cauliflower. Three, what's three? I need to wash the label off of that jar. I need to stop putting glass stuff in dangerous places where they can crash and ruin 20 minutes of my life. But lessons, right? I do have shark ears. So we cooked kale, we made a salad for ourselves, we cooked cauliflower, we baked a cake, now we're gonna do some dishes. What a night, y'all. I got a lot done in 2 hours. I can safely say this has been maybe one of the most healthy Wednesdays I've lived in a long time. Today I was walking home from saying bye to my dad and sending him off on the train, and I realized that like I haven't really taken a day that wasn't work, that wasn't really ruled by trying to keep abreast of Palestine actions, and it felt really strange and like oddly nostalgic. It came with a sense of like, oh man, I should be doing more. But it also came with a sense of, oh man, I feel normal and I wish I could feel more normal. I wish we could all feel more normal. All right. I'm gonna take a little bit of frying oil, mix it up with baking soda, and slather it on this jar and hope the sticker releases clean. Or rather, the sticker residue releases clean. You laughed at my genuine moment of sadness. I'm really glad you did, actually. Very, very glad. You all survived the day too. Kudos to all of us for being here. This has a little bit of scallion residue in it since it's the frying oil I use for grandma. Don't mind it. Honeydew melon ice cream pops. Yeah, those are an Asian favorite. I look for about this consistency where it's like milky white but not completely stiff. And then I get like a paper towel or a scrubby ready, and just slather it on. Coat it for a few minutes, and then go hard on the elbow grease after. God forbid I patent anything. If I start patenting things and I start selling you merch, know that that is the fake Messiah. Oh, this residue is stubborn. Making me very unhappy, this jar. Very unhappy. I'm gonna let her rest. Let time do the work, you know? Okay. 'Cause such a hard time like being convinced about writing and selling a book. I can write. I can maybe even make a book. But for me to sell a book is a whole other story. I have to look up this recipe that I had for halal style white sauce. I want to make it now. For the cauliflower. Two-thirds cup mayonnaise. Girl, you crazy. Jesus Christ. I'm sure it tastes good though. I trust myself. Oh, MacBook is running low on power. Let's grab this. Okay. Let us grab this. Two-thirds cup mayo. lemon peel, zested. This is a lemon juice. One teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. That is stinging my hand right now. Ow. One clove garlic grated. Oops, I don't have that. Salt and sugar. Okay. Well, we can use some black garlic powder maybe. Won't be the same, but salt. I think I'm actually going to use the rest of my mint simple syrup in here instead of the sugar. I think that's one of the most brilliant ideas I've ever had in my life, ever. And I'll use some shallot powder in here alongside the black garlic powder. You haven't watched me in 7 to 9 months? I'm okay. How are you? Welcome. I'm older, more depressed, a little more stable, but also not. What else is new, huh? White sauce with mint simple syrup. Hell yeah. Oh my God. I am on a roll tonight. Aside from breaking a whole glass jar. We did it, folks. Okay, back to this jar cleaning. True. When was overall? My laptop battery is about to go out, so I'm gonna bid you all a good night very soon. But lovely lovely hanging out with you twice today. Thank you for joining my manic trials and tribulations. Stay tuned for more of this shit, always and forever. But yeah, eat some vegetables, y'all. I also told my dad today about slave-free chocolates because he gifted me so many chocolates, and I'm like, you know, I never really buy this anymore. And he was like, why? You don't like it? And I was like, I like it, but you know, now that I can afford a little better, and now that I know what goes behind the scenes into a lot of these products, it's hard to enjoy it sometimes. We're getting there. I like how everybody's saying bye, and then the live will go on for 10 more minutes. Watch. You guys don't have to stay, you know? This is your choice. I do just want to show you this super satisfying. Kick you out when the stream ends. I actually have this super brilliant idea to add some of my previously caramelized onion to my white sauce, which we're gonna do now, because now it's gonna turn into like a French onion dip. There is no stopping the manic beast. Except depression. Depression will stop the manic beast. Not only did I learn that I have some attachment issues, I also learned that I might have autism and I might have ADHD and all of these things. We're just all mentally all together. It's great. here. My hands are clean. Don't judge. Or judge. That's fine. I don't care. Peppermint frosting sounds great. It's a win. It's a win. Tonight we win. Do you know what an absolute awful movie was? And I knew when, what's his face? Chris Pine? What is that movie with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles? Awful. Story was awful. Yes, don't worry, darling. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. I think the acting was quite good aside from Chris Pine. Is that his name? He was the worst one. He was like so not well cast. He was so poorly cast. Also, the story sucks. The story has a twist in it, which was entertaining, but the ending was completely unsatisfying. The visuals are great, but beyond that, it hinges all on the kind of reveal. Why, yes, I am just eating globs of mayo. Was The Policeman good? Should I watch that? Alright folks, that's it. Goodbye. 2.5 hours. So long. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, maybe not. I don't know. Good night.